Donald Trump just got off the phone with Justin Trudeau. Apparently, they're going to talk again at 3 this afternoon, but he's not going light on good Justin, which I'm very happy about. Canada, I mean, I'm sorry. When we're there too, I don't want to feel like we're pointing out Canada going, you guys suck. We sucked too. We just woke up and changed leadership, and we are going in a different direction because we've learned the same things you know. Okay, you know it. This can't continue this way, right?
Yeah, the one. I mean, I have several issues with some of these policies, but one that I do really is a little bothersome to me is Trudeau was so unpopular in Canada and so on the way out. And now like there's this like nationalist Canadian thing going on where they're booing the national anthem.
Wait a minute. He's Trudeau's becoming a nationalist?
It's hilarious. But like he's now getting the benefits of the support of people who are just rallying around him mindlessly, whether the policy is right or not.
Correct.
That I just don't like good things happening to Justin Trudeau. So that is, I don't know if that was part. But again,
that was an unforeseen consequence.
Yes, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But we will see. Obviously, where this thing lands economically is much more important. Than that.
Here's the good thing: we have a president that's not actually trying to destroy us.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, whether you like this policy or not, and when it comes to tariffs, you know that the motivation behind it is to make the country better.
Correct.
And I don't know that that's always the motivation behind these policies when we've seen previous presidents go after them. Obviously, a lot of Democrats have gone after similar policies, and I think a lot of times their motivations have been much, much worse. So at least we've got good motivations behind this. I mean, I think Trump is looking at this and saying he thinks it's going to work long term. He thinks I think most clearly, you pointed this out, Glenn, with Panama, with Colombia, most clearly he believes they're going to back down from this eventually and give us concessions. And I think that's probably the most likely outcome.
It seems to be what's happening with Panama.
Yeah, it seems to be. It definitely happened with Colombia. Like it does seem to be. We are the big boys on the block.
Yes.
And Donald Trump is not only familiar with that fact, but also comfortable with it, unlike other presidents.
Yeah.
He's comfortable with us being the big boys on the block.
Yeah.
He's comfortable with us being the world power. That's okay in his eyes. It's okay in my eyes. It's okay in your eyes.
As long as you don't become a bully. And see, listen to what Justin Trudeau said. Let's go to cut 3, please.
And now is also the time to choose Canada. There are many ways for you to do your part. It might mean checking the labels at the supermarket and picking Canadian-made products. It might mean opting for Canadian rye over Kentucky bourbon, or foregoing Florida orange juice altogether.
No.
It might mean changing your summer vacation plans to stay here in Canada and explore the many national and provincial parks, historical sites, and tourist destinations our great country has to offer.
He's using this to turn around his own political fortunes, which is infuriating. Like he doesn't care at all about any of this other stuff.
No.
He's motivated by his own self-interest here.
So here's cut 6, more of Justin Trudeau.
I think Canadians are a little perplexed as to why our closest friends and neighbors are choosing to target us instead of so many other challenging parts of the world. I don't think there's a lot of Americans who wake up in the morning saying, oh, damn Canada. Oh, we should really go after Canada.
You're right. Why were you targeting us? Why was your number 2 in command that just quit? Why was she targeting people here for, giving to a freedom movement in Canada? I mean, it's not like you've been our best friend, Justin.
No,
but Canadians, he's horrible. But Canadians are great. I love Canadians, and I love Canada. And Canada should love Canada. And you should be concerned about, what the state of your country is in. Look at your immigration problems. Look at what's happening to your country. That's what started all of this, is the fentanyl that is coming across our borders, both north and south, and the illegals. Stop it. Stop it. And, a great way to stop it is to make sure you stop it at your borders from them coming into your country. That's really what this is about.
Right, and that's what's clear here. Trump always says like tariffs are his favorite word. You've talked to him, I know, privately on phone calls about this type of thing.
I disagree with him on that, but
right, but in a way, I don't think that's exactly what he means. Right, like tariffs are good to the extent that they get something else done.
Yes.
Right? Like they're not good in and of themselves. They're just taxes in and of themselves.
Yes.
They do raise prices on us. The calculation, however, is will the pain that is applied to both sides, as Trump has outwardly stated, and it's important to be fair to him. A lot of people are like, oh, he's not saying this. He's saying there's going to be pain. These are his words.
Yeah.
There's going to be pain on us, but the calculation is the pain on us is going to be less than the pain on them, and they will give first. And then he will get what he wants outside of the tariffs. Mm-hmm. That's the calculation here. I mean, it is a risky one at times. And, you could call it a trade war or not. The bottom line is when we escalate, then they escalate, then we escalate, then they escalate. You could say it's not a trade war, but kind of is. I mean, it's a trade competition if you feel more comfortable with those terms. But the bottom line is, we believe we're going to win it. That's what he's saying. And he believes we're going to win it. And at the end of the day, we get concessions that improve the country. The proof's going to be in the pudding on that. Will it work? As you point out, it's worked kind of with Panama so far. It seems like it's worked kind of with Colombia. It's going to work with some of these countries. It's going to be more difficult with a country like China. I think what we saw in his first term was a renegotiation of NAFTA into which eventually became the USMCA, right? And
which he still doesn't like. It was the best he could do.
It was the best he could do at the time. He's not, I guess, not happy with it now because you're not allowed to put new tariffs on either one of these countries in that agreement, which he negotiated. But he wants something better. I mean, how can we be upset with a president who wants something better for the country? It's just a question as to whether it works or not. And the guy, the Dallas Mavericks traded Luka Doncic this weekend. The GM came out and said, "You'll have to judge me as to how it turns out."
We will.
We will. Right? Yeah. Congratulations.
We will.
We will.
In fact, we kind of already have.
Well, that one we already have. That's probably a bad example.
Right.
But that's exactly what will happen, right? If this works and he gets something out of it, people will probably be okay with it, even if it is short-term pain. Generally speaking, though, that the American people only have so much tolerance for that. And Donald Trump has a finely tuned eye for that type of thing.
He does.
And I'm sure he's going to walk that line carefully.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. And like I said, he's not trying to destroy America. He's trying to save America. And I know that's a new concept to the American people. It's kind of like, I'm sure it's new to the Canadians as well. Cut one. Here's Donald Trump talking about tariffs on Europe.
Well, you're asking me a question because I'm sure you didn't hear. Am I going to impose tariffs on the European Union? Do you want the truthful answer or should I give you a political answer? Absolutely.
He wants stuff.
Yeah.
And this is how he gets stuff.
Yeah. But what does he want?
I mean, various things from various countries, right?
Yeah. He wants, the big things, he wants an end to the World War II order where we are protecting Mercedes-Benz, allowing Mercedes to come in here and have all kinds of access to our market, and Ford can't. We don't have that. We don't have that in Germany. Why? Because we wanted to make sure that the German companies could recover and all of the car companies could recover. The world's just not a great place without another Citroen. So that's what that is for. That's why we did that. And it never changed. And it's got to change. It's over. It's got to change. The other thing is that absolutely has to change. They have to pay their 5% into NATO. You got to pay it.
That's everyone is in this agreement.
Yeah.
Exist with the terms of the agreement in place. Follow them. That's not a difficult thing. We're doing a lot more than everybody else anyway, even if we all pay 5%.
I know.
We're the ones footing the bill.
Right.
We're the ones basically running this organization.
Right.
The least you can do is get to that, whatever that percentage is.
Yeah. And that's fine if you don't. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Then the agreement doesn't exist. And we're not going to, protect you all the time. Winston Churchill had to beg the United States to come in because the Americans don't want to be involved in everybody else's business. We don't. Our government, our State Department seems to want to. The military-industrial complex wants to, but the American people don't. So we're totally fine with that, Europe. We don't think that's a good idea for you, but, in time, you'll learn to defend yourself. And then you'll probably get pissed off at the French and start bombing them, and then we'll be in it all over again. Again, we don't recommend it, but go ahead. We're not protecting. What do you think Justin Trudeau's going to say if we said, oh, well, you don't want to protect your borders? Okay. All right. You want a trade war? Okay. Well, I think we're done helping your military. We win at the end. Hopefully it'll never get to that, but we win in the end.
And they have to know that.
Yes, they do.
They have to know
that.
They do. So, I'm not surprised they're retaliating with 25% tariffs of their own. That obviously will, there are a lot. We do send a lot of products to Canada as well. Mm-hmm. We are the second largest exporter in the world.
But
so we do send products to a lot of these countries, and it will burn those companies, and it will hurt at times. If these things even get into play, and we're not even in place yet. And would it be surprising at all if there was a delay of a month while they negotiated? No.
And let me ask you, he was just on the phone with Justin Trudeau just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Hung up the phone. What's he doing at 3 this afternoon? Getting back on the phone with Justin Trudeau. This is a negotiation.
Yes, exactly.
It's a negotiation.
You can't get too worked up about it because you don't know where the story ends.
I know. We have no idea. We're not the ones negotiating. Here's what we do know. Our negotiator is trying to get the best deal for us. And he's a businessman. He understands it, unlike attorneys who run the rest of the world.